everybody? Johnny Vegas here. I'm live with Paul Carcaterra. Paul, you're live on the air. Why don't you say hi to the viewers, and then we'll get into it.
What's up, people? It's a good day when you're talking to Johnny Vegas and you're talking Latin.
Awesome. So how was your trip to Israel, and how did you feel about the games, the FIL World Men's Lacrosse Championships overall?
It was an awesome trip. I mean, the sport of lacrosse has been great to me, and I've been able to travel, you can say, all around the world. I mean, I grew up in a small town about an hour north of New York City called Yorktown. The sport was great in me at such a young age, and just the love that I've had for the game since I was a little boy still sparks my interest in the game and fuels me for the future. I know I'm 43 years old right now, but to be able to go to places like England and Scotland and Wales when I was in college with my Syracuse team, or to cover championships in Israel, or to volunteer some time in Jamaica a few summers ago, the sport has really offered me insanely cool opportunities. And Israel, when it's all said and done and when the dust settles, because we're only home for a week, will certainly be up there with some of the great experiences. So I thought the championships were great. From the standpoint, Johnny, that the sport is really growing. Obviously, with the 46 nations that participated, that's a huge number, and it's tripled over the last two World Championships. But it's the level of play that was really impressive, too. When I was walking around the whole village area and watching some of the games and spending time watching these teams grow. I mean, there's teams that are making significant progress, and I applaud them, too. And sometimes the rap with the FIL is that some of these teams from other nations are all Americans. That's not really true. I mean, I was watching Germany, Hong Kong, and say, the vast majority of every kid on the Hong Kong team lives in Hong Kong, and Germany the same. So, I thought that was really impressive. Is the ability to shrink the gap in terms of the great lacrosse programs. Obviously, with Canada and U.S. still kind of strangleholding the elite type of lacrosse. But I think everything else, it's kind of just it's allowed itself to get acclimated to better lacrosse. I'm certainly impressed not just by the growth, but the level of play too. Because to be quite honest with you, in the last World Championships, watching some of the lower teams, it was a little painful to watch just because they were starting off, and that's to be expected. But I didn't really feel that way when I was watching it this time around. So I thought the World Games were awesome. Obviously, the Canada-U.S. battles had a little bit of everything. They had great skill, they had speed, they had physicality, and we all know they had suspense with some of the controversy.
Yeah, that's definitely true. I did see FIL put out a statement, and basically, to paraphrase, they said that referees do make mistakes sometimes. So it's the referee making a possible mistake on the offsides call. It's just to be expected in lacrosse that refs can make a mistake every once in a while. And then they said that the actual time was kept at the table. So there was like a difference in the time that was on the scoreboard, or viewers at home or something. There was like some discrepancy there. But they said that USA still had that second. It wasn't like the timekeeper messed up and gave USA more time. It was that if they didn't give them a second or two, because they let the time keep running when the ball went out, then it would have been a bigger deal that USA didn't have that second to score, in my opinion.
Yeah, Randy Nunn, the head coach of Canada, his argument, and it was pretty sound at the time. Well, let's be clear. I mean, the obvious mistake was the offside, and that was kind of shocking because FIL, if Canada had the ball with 3 minutes left, or whatever that offside was in that range, it's not really hard to stall with how wide the boxes are. So they're probably a pretty good chance that they could win that game.
Yeah.
That's number one. Number two, the clock, the only way we'll ever be able to tell, and this isn't going to happen, is if the scorer's table clock was accurate and Tom Schreiber did score within the confines of regulation.
Yeah.
And we had like a camera on that clock too. So like much as we want to say, oh, the clock was fine, I mean, you can't guarantee me that the clock was fine.
Yeah.
Because there was obviously a conversation and discrepancy between the clock that the viewers were seeing and the scores table. But unless we really saw the scores table clock perfectly, we don't know. But
yeah.
Look, I have a tough time not really shedding the positive light on the U.S. too. And I'm an advocate of the sport, and I'd love to see great lacrosse, whether it's by the U.S., Canada, Australia, Uruguay, whoever it is. But I think the U.S. should not have to worry about or feel bad or apologize for what happened. I mean, they played within the confines of the way that the rules were interpreted that day on the field. There's nothing they did wrong. There's nothing they could have changed. Referees make decisions. Players play the game. So
Yeah.
They play the game based on the rules that the referees interjected at that moment in time. So, let's applaud the U.S. for having an unbelievable showing, winning a gold championship. But I also see the other side of it, Johnny, where Canada does have a legit argument. I'm not one really to pound my fist against the wall and say the refs cost them the game. But this is one of those times where you might have a leg to stand on saying that the refs really did alter a good part of that outcome.
Yeah, because when that offsides call came, I believe there was 3 minutes left, maybe a little.
Right around there, yeah.
So, I mean, Canada being up by 1 at that point, they definitely could have hung on to that win, or at least, let's say USA got the ball back and tied it up. I think Canada would have ran a lot of clock down, and it would have been tough for USA to have time to score that winning goal.
Yeah, for sure. So, I mean, you feel bad for Canada. The tough thing for them is they have to wait 4 years for a rematch.
Yeah.
But Canada's not going anywhere. I mean, they're just developing insanely talented offensive scorers. They have a lot of youth on that team. I mean, they've got a bunch of guys under the age of, 23, 24 years old.
Yeah.
Guys like, Courier and Teat and Tyson Bell and Latrell Harris. Graham Hossack's 25. He's a shutdown defender. And I think that's what Canada's doing better than they've done in the past. They're actually developing really good defenders now, too. So they're going to be a thorn in the side of the U.S. for as long as, these World Championships exist. So I'm just really, really impressed with what they were able to do.
And it'll be interesting. So the next one will be in Canada, in British Columbia. That'll be interesting. It's their home turf. They're gonna be gunning for USA to get the gold medal, and I'll be definitely interested to see how that all plays out.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be really cool. I heard that part of Canada is beautiful. I don't think we'll see an offsides call or a blown offsides call and a clock malfunction next time around. I think we all learn too from our mistakes as a sport, and I think as negative as that moment was for the sport, the positive light that could be shed is that these things have to be done better. If we want to be taken seriously as a sport, we need to have those things kind of taken care of and not cause an outcome that might not exist.
Yeah. And now Iroquois, they got the bronze medal. They look good, and Tahoka Nanakoke is just such an incredible player. And then you got the 4 Thompson brothers that were on the team, and Randy Stats. They got so many great players. I thought that they, I predicted that they would have performed better than they did. They did well, but I just thought they were going to give Canada and USA a harder run for their money.
Yeah, I think it's accurate when you look at their offensive players. It was the bunch. The one kid who was totally impressive was Austin Stocks, too, who was Brandy's younger brother. I thought he was phenomenal. I mean, he's got 2 years of eligibility left. I'd love to see that kid play collegiately the next couple of years before he turns pro. I mean, the word on the street is that he won't use those last 2 years of eligibility, or at least it's moving in that direction. You just hope that he decides to call an audible at the last moment and finish up school and give everyone a treat. I think he'll be a better player by doing it. He'll have more options professionally. aren't able to perform at the level maybe that you expected because defensively they're not there.
Yeah.
I mean, they had guys that had switch positions and tight hole. You're going to get exposed. You might be able to upset one team, but when you don't have like seasoned defenders, and they had a couple really good ones. I thought Tyson Bomberry had a great tournament, but you can't do it with one or two. You need 4 or 5 or 6 of them.
Yeah.
So I think defensively they're light years behind U.S. obviously and Canada for that matter, because I think Canada's closed a little bit of a gap. But the Iroquois, they can't make a legitimate run with that kind of defense and that lack of experience that they had.
Yeah, that's very true. What is your upcoming schedule in terms of sportscasting and stuff with ESPN? You got anything big coming up soon?
Yeah, the MLL Championships in Charleston, South Carolina, August 18th. So that'll be super fun. Are you going to that?
No, it's not on. I mean, I could try definitely. Maybe I'll look in to see how much tickets are. But that'd be an awesome thing. I went to the 2 All-Star games that were in California the last 2 years.
Nice.
Yeah, so maybe I'll try to do that. Yeah, I'll look at airline tickets and stuff.
Yeah, so that would be really cool. That kind of wraps up my year of lacrosse. And then college football's right around the corner, and that will be in full tilt the last weekend in August and the beginning of September, where I'm on the road essentially for like 16 straight weekends. So,
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's fun though. College football's great. I mean, lacrosse is part of who I am, and I follow the sport and make sure that I'm watching as much lacrosse as I can, whether it's fall ball in the fall or just kind of reading or visiting some practices, doing some things. I always like to stay connected to the sport of lacrosse because love the game, love the culture, love the people. So it's hard for me to stay away from lacrosse. So if I'm doing a game at a Penn State or a Michigan or Ohio State, I'm going to try to get in there early, watch a lacrosse practice, visit a coach, see some kids, and that's the fun thing about the off season for me and covering football. Sometimes you get to watch a little lacrosse too.
Cool. Do you have any thoughts on the XFL that's coming in 2020?
Which helmets?
The XFL that Vince McMahon is bringing back. It's coming back 2020, 2020.
What are my thoughts on that league?
Yeah, like, do you think it's they're supposed to do it in the spring?
Smarter guy than me. Smarter than me. He's got a hell of a lot more money than me. So
yeah,
the fact that he's done it once, I think he's probably learned a lot. From his first experience. That good businessmen always adjust and are better the next time around. So, look, this country has an appetite for football, for sure. The NFL is obviously a beast, but in terms of entertainment and media, I think if they can kind of capture the youth and kind of catapult from a social media standpoint and everything around that, and really relate to the kids, they might have a shot.
Yeah.
I don't think it's going to be something that will compete necessarily with the NFL right away or maybe ever, but I certainly think that it needs to be its own entity and be very profitable, but also something that the general public likes.
Yeah.
So it'll be cool. I mean, I don't know exactly their schedule. Head with the NFL, maybe it'll be more like a Canadian football type schedule. What's your take on that league?
I think so. From the start, I know that Vince McMahon appointed a commissioner that it's the father of a very well-known player. Can't think of the name, but that made the fans realize that they're legitimately trying to make this a successful league. Like, they're hiring this commissioner that I'll post in the comments later is a good sign for them. Now, I know that Vince McMahon is kind of taking a back seat. He's doing all the funding and organizing and stuff, but he's not in the forefront. He's not making himself the face of the league, and he's not going to be bringing wrestlers in for the opening game and them doing promos, because in the past that just made fans say, oh, this is just promoting his wrestling company. And football fans they don't necessarily want to see The Rock cutting a promo before a football game. So me on the other hand, I love pro wrestling. I like football. I like lacrosse. So
how big of a wrestling junkie are you?
I'm a big wrestling fan. So I've been a fan since I was probably 5 years old or so. Early '90s, and big fan of Hulk Hogan. I would say Hulk Hogan, but you would think I would say Ultimate Warrior because of that war paint I put on. It's kind of like Ultimate Warrior.
Yeah. I love when the Hulks would come into the old school, I am a real American. Was that a sick intro?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, he's awesome.
Yeah.
I've actually connected with him on Facebook, and then years ago, he almost bought my house, my family house, when I was a kid, and that was when I was really into wrestling, and it was during the Monday Night Wars. He came to my house to look at it.
Oh, sick. That's actually pretty cool. What do you do with most of your time when lacrosse season's not cooking?
I cover pro wrestling or independent wrestling. Sometimes I'll be a cameraman, or I'll write blogs on my website about it. I'll do cover mixed martial arts events as a cameraman and interviewer. I'm in the octagon after a fight's over with the wrestling media, and right there in center. So I've connected with Chuck Liddell and a lot of those big names. It's just cool to be in that world too. But
yeah, for sure.
So I try to get involved in everything because like my website, Johnny Vegas Inc., I cover all things. I do movie reviews and predictions and just talking about movies, discussions. I just try to make my website have a little bit of everything for anybody that checks it out.
Yeah, that appetite for everyone. What would you think, one thing based on all the positive that you see in other industries, whether it's wrestling, MMA, what can lacrosse bring in from one of those entities to make the sport bigger from an exposure standpoint?
I would say that, let's see, I would think that lacrosse definitely needs to promote their events a little more. So like in terms of like when the game was in when the All-Star game was in California, I think that it would have been cool to see bars promoting it, making deals if you buy a ticket to the game, or just getting the community around there supporting it. And then I think I don't know how much commercials are. There probably a lot, but if you could get some commercials with some Paul Rabel highlights and some other guys, some quick goals action, some saves, some big hits, just trying to get more people that wouldn't watch lacrosse necessarily seeing your sport. Kind of the way like monster trucks, like they do quick shots of things and then they go, tune in Friday.
Yeah, you're right. That's a good point.
Yeah, we got a viewer question from Juan Marqueza de la Plata. He says, Paul, have you worked with any international countries with lacrosse development?
Yeah, the answer is yes. I volunteered 3 summers ago in Jamaica, in Kingston, in the summer of 2015. So that was a great experience. I also played internationally with my younger brother, Brian. We played for the English national team, and that was a great experience. So that was more of a player, but from a coaching standpoint, volunteering my time, Jamaica, but also as a younger player when I was in college, went over to England, Scotland, Wales, did some clinics on that front.
Cool. Well, thanks for your question, Juan. I know we only have a few minutes left, so do you have any advice for not just me, but for other people that are trying to do a little bit of what you do in the lacrosse world?
Just love the game and don't be afraid to take chances. And I think, like, watching you at the World Games, I thought it was great that you go up to people and grab content. The day and age that we live in now is a lot more it's really hard for someone now to say like, no one will ever see my stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, you're living proof of it. I think if you have an idea, go out and grab it and get content, get original content. I mean, even I force myself and push myself to do new creative things. Outside of broadcasting, whether it's some of those little ride arounds I do with players and coaches, and getting a unique, more of an in-depth perspective of who these people are. To some of the things I've done with through X series that was on the Lacrosse Network.
Yeah.
I think that stuff. I think it's really important to just tell stories. Tell the stories that you're passionate about. I mean, everyone's passionate about something, and if it's a sport of lacrosse that you love, you obviously have passion buckets within the sport. So find those passion buckets, and if it's media that you also are tied into, tell stories about it, and don't let anyone tell you can't. I mean, look, no one forced you to go to Israel.
Yeah. No, nobody did.
Yeah, exactly. But you came back with a lot of content, and you gave people perspective while you were over there. I think that's great. You have to be your own producer a lot too.
Yeah.
And what I mean by that is like produce your own content, produce your own ideas, and have fun doing it. I mean, if you really love the game and you love working within media, the sky's the limit in the sport of lacrosse. Lacrosse is really unique because, as you know, from an access standpoint, the hurdles and the barriers are way less than
definitely
covering NFL or major college football. So the good thing is, our sport, although it doesn't have the exposure of these other big name sports like basketball, football, baseball, or hockey on the professional ranks, we do have an ability to really get access. I mean, you were on the field for the World Championship.
Yeah.
I mean, you got that access. So, would you be on the field for the Super Bowl?
No. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think you take the good with the bad. So, yeah, our sport's not at the level of the others, but from an access standpoint, you can go out and create your own content.
Yeah. And probably my highlight, my favorite interview besides yours, I loved interviewing you, but the fact that I got all four Thompson brothers in an interview together was pretty cool.
Oh, that's awesome. That's great. Yeah. That's the stuff that's gold.
Yeah, but a lot of people liked my interview with you. They really enjoyed it.
Oh, cool. Yeah, hey, man, anytime you're at a game, I'm more than happy to chat with you.
Cool. Well, thank you very much. I know you have to go. So I'm going to look at plane tickets and stuff, see if I could get out to that MLL championship game. And if I do, I'll see you there. But if not, keep in touch on social media, and I'll talk to you soon.
Thanks, Johnny. Keep crushing it, buddy.
Thank you. You too. All right. All right, everybody. That was Paul Carcaterra. Thank you very much, Juan. Thank you for participating with the question. And I appreciate it. I appreciate everybody watching. And I'm Jonny Vegas, reminding you to grow your game. Remember to grow, you got to play. Happy lacrossing, everybody. Until next time.
So she tells a friend, I saw him in Paris. Maybe it was Nikki. Girl, let's get tipsy. They know my name. It's Palsy. I told you, girl. You should all me. Now they calling on the phone like, easy, where you at? I know I told you girls that I'm never coming back. I'm on the road. I'm never coming.